Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. I want to talk to you about something that can change your life, your business, and even your entire future. It's a simple idea, but it's powerful. Risk is better than regret. When we look back on our lives, we rarely regret the chances we took. Instead, we regret the ones we didn't. Every great accomplishment in history began as a small, sometimes fragile dream in the mind of an ordinary person. When we say dream big but start small, we're talking about the courage to imagine something extraordinary while accepting the reality that every journey begins with a single, often imperfect step. Too many people wait until they have the perfect plan, the perfect resources, the perfect timing. But waiting for perfection is the biggest trap of all. You don't need everything to be perfect to begin. You just need a spark of belief that what you envision is possible and the willingness to take the first step, even if it's a small one. Imagine wanting to build a successful business. You might have a vision of serving millions of customers, of changing the world, of creating a legacy that lasts for generations. That's your big dream, and you should hold it close. But don't let the size of that dream overwhelm you or paralyze you into inaction. Instead, focus on the smallest, most immediate action you can take today. Talk to one potential customer. Build the first prototype. Write down your business plan. Every great entrepreneur, every visionary leader, every change maker, they all started small. They sold a product from the back of a bicycle, or from their kitchen table, or from a single modest store. They didn't have the resources or the influence to achieve everything at once, but they had one thing in common: they started. It's in these small beginnings that you build the resilience, the skills, and the wisdom you'll need to grow. Every small step, every tiny victory, every setback, they all contribute to your journey toward the big dream. So don't be afraid to dream big, but more importantly, have the humility and the discipline to start small and keep moving forward one step at a time. Think of every failure not as a defeat, but as an essential part of your learning process. Every mistake you make, every rejection you face, and every disappointment you endure is like paying tuition at the University of Life. Success is not something you stumble into overnight. It's something you build step by step through a series of lessons that are often disguised as failures. When you make a mistake, it's easy to feel like giving up. It's easy to think, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe I should do something safer. But that's when you need to remind yourself that failures are the tuition fees you pay to learn the lessons that success demands. No one achieves anything worthwhile without stumbling along the way. Look at any successful entrepreneur, artist, athlete, or leader. Every single one has a long list of failures behind them. They failed to get the job. They failed to get the investment. They failed to attract the audience. But instead of seeing those failures as dead ends, they saw them as detours, as opportunities to grow, to adjust, to come back stronger. Think about it. When you pay tuition at a university, you don't expect to be handed a diploma the next day. You know it's a process. You study, you take exams, and sometimes you fail. But with every failure, you learn what works and what doesn't. You become more prepared for the real challenges that come your way. The same goes for life. Each failure teaches you something a success never could. A failure tests your patience, your resilience, your creativity, and your willingness to keep going when things get tough. It shapes your character and refines your vision. So embrace failure as a cost of learning. Pay that tuition willingly, knowing that each setback is an investment in your growth. When you look back, you'll realize that every failure brought you one step closer to success. One of the hardest things you will ever have to do is to believe in yourself when the world around you is full of doubt. When nobody else sees your vision, when your ideas are questioned, when your efforts are ignored or even ridiculed, that is exactly the moment you must hold on tight to your own belief. Because the truth is, every great success starts with someone who refused to give up on themselves, even when no one else believed in them. People will tell you it's impossible, that you're dreaming too big, that you're not ready, or that you don't have what it takes. And sometimes, even your closest friends or family might not understand your path. But if you let their doubts shake your confidence, if you wait for their approval before you move forward, you will never get anywhere. The energy that drives change and innovation comes from within. It comes from the quiet, steady voice inside you that says, I can do this, even when the noise outside tells you otherwise. Believing in yourself is not about arrogance or ignoring reality. It's about having the courage to trust your own instincts, your own dreams, and your own hard work. It's about waking up every day ready to fight for your vision, even if it means standing alone. Remember, the world often only recognizes a leader or a pioneer after they have succeeded. But before that, they walk a lonely path filled with skepticism and criticism. If you give up when nobody else believes in you, you will never give yourself the chance to prove them wrong. So be your own biggest supporter. Speak kindly to yourself. Celebrate your small wins. Learn from your mistakes. And most importantly, never stop believing in the power of your own potential. Because when you do, you'll find the strength to keep going no matter what. In the end, belief in yourself is the foundation on which every great achievement is built. Without it, even the best ideas stay dreams. With it, even the smallest steps can lead to extraordinary journeys. We often hear that timing is everything, and yes, timing does matter. The right opportunity at the right moment can make a big difference, but here's the reality. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you might wait forever. Perfect timing is like a mirage. It looks clear in the distance, but when you get closer, it moves further away. Waiting for everything to line up perfectly, the perfect market conditions, the perfect skills, the perfect plan, is the surest way to miss out on the chances right in front of you. The truth is, action is far more important than timing. When you take action, you create your own timing. You make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen to you. Every step you take, no matter how small, shifts the circumstances around you. You learn, you adapt, and you open doors that were once closed. Think about this. Many of the most successful ventures didn't start when the market was perfect. They started because someone decided to act despite uncertainty. They moved fast, learned from what didn't work, and adjusted their course along the way. Action breeds momentum. Momentum creates opportunity. If you wait too long for the right time, the opportunity might pass you by or someone else might take it. But if you act now, even imperfectly, you give yourself the chance to grow, to improve, and to seize opportunities that you never could have imagined. So don't let the fear of imperfect timing stop you. The world rewards those who act boldly, who are willing to start before they feel fully ready, because in action, you discover clarity, you find your rhythm, and most importantly, you create your own luck. Remember, it's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making this moment perfect through your courage to act. Start now, keep moving, the right timing will follow. In the fast pace of business and life, it's easy to get lost in numbers, strategies, and what others expect from you. But if you want to build something truly meaningful, something that lasts beyond profits and popularity, you must learn to use your heart to guide your decisions. Your heart is your compass. It knows what truly matters to you deep down, even when your mind is clouded by doubt or fear. When you make choices that align only with money, status, or what looks easy, you might gain something in the short term, but you risk losing your passion, your integrity, and your happiness in the long run. Decisions made with the heart are decisions made with purpose. They reflect your values, your dreams, and your authentic self. When you let your heart lead, you don't just chase success, you chase significance. You create work that inspires you, relationships that fulfill you, and a legacy that you can be proud of. Of course, following your heart doesn't mean ignoring logic or being reckless. It means balancing your mind and your emotions. It means asking yourself, does this decision feel right? Does it bring me closer to who I want to be? Am I doing this because it matters or because I'm chasing approval? When you use your heart to guide your decisions, even the toughest challenges become clearer. You find strength in your purpose, and that strength carries you through setbacks and uncertainty. Your journey becomes less about avoiding failure and more about staying true to yourself. At the end of the day, success without fulfillment is emptiness, but success guided by your heart is a life well lived. So listen to that inner voice, trust your passion, let your heart be the North Star that directs your path, and you'll not only achieve great things, you'll do it in a way that feels deeply rewarding and authentic. Because in the race of life and business, the greatest victory is a clear conscience and a joyful heart. The greatest risk is not taking any risk at all. If you don't try, you've already failed. But if you do, even if you stumble, you'll have a story to tell and a life without regret. So go out there, dream, dare, and do. Risk is better than regret, always. Thank you.